Okay, the first question is, can you walk me through a complex technical challenge you fixed in one of these projects and how you solved it? Yes, I can remember. Maybe a complex technical challenge is that that is a PubNub. That is a PubNub business project. We need integrate a third-party library called PubNub. We used to use it to get some message and to publish some message and to make the message showed as the web UI, and that is a complex business which means once we get the message we need once we need publish the message from everywhere, and we will get the message and show the message from in the web UI. Sometimes, for example, we will publish the message in from user A, but we need show the message in user B's website UI. That is a big problem, which means we need we need we need write a complex public context component to manage the state and to show the and and also we need to get the message in a component. So anyway, we write some component to handle the situation, and we have a provider, we have a receiver, we have some component to handle this condition, which makes this project not too messy. Yes, we also have communicate with our other front-end engineers, and we get this better um, better solution. Yes, actually, you know, every page have some different solutions to handle the the to handle it to handle the message. Sometimes one message anyway is a little complex. Next interview question: how do you ensure code quality in your front-end projects? Can you give me some example of tools or processes you implemented? Of course, I can give you some examples of what I am using. Yes, actually I'm using ESLint. I think it's a good code quality tools for us to get a better code quality. Yeah. Mm, ESLint is, and we also use Prettier. It is a code format for us. Yeah. These two tools are good for us. And we also use GitLab. We also use GitLab CI when we create a GitLab merge request. The merge request will run a CI to automatically run the npm test comment. So if the code if the code lint command cannot run pass successfully, it will send us an email. So it will give us tips that what we need to change. So once that is a normal workflow for us to do the workflow to make the code quality better. Yeah, actually, besides the tools, we also have a strict code review process in our team. When we create a merge request, uh, we will refer it to anybody related to the code changes. So this will make the code changes better. Yeah. Okay. The next question is, can you explain when you decided to use Micro-Frontends and what benefits it brought to your team? Of course, yes. You know, we have a big business. The business required us to use the Webpack file mode federation. The business required us to use macro frontend. Actually we we didn't use that before. I stayed at that company for about 6 or 7 years, and I see the changes from a big project to several small projects. That's a big process, I see. Mm, and I know why it happens. Why it happens is that for backend, there are some changes from a big project to microservices, and as well for front end, we have a change from a big project to several small several small projects, which means every team can focus their own projects, and they will not impact other teams' projects, and they will not pollute others' code, which will make the risk decrease. And micro-frontends, that is the micro-frontends the benefit, and the other benefit is that we could make the release more flexible. Previously, if you want to do a release for big project, you need cooperate every team, every one in the project. That the communication will be tough and not easy. But if you separate the big project to several small projects, the release work will be more easier. One team finished their work, they can release a version, and it will be easy to release. Yes, that's some reason. So let me show you the conclusion. One is we want to respond to backend trend to for the microservice change, and the second reason is decrease the risk, And the third reason is we want to get a flexible release. We want to get flexible release. The next question is, can you tell me about a time when you collaborated with designers or backend engineers to solve a problem? Yeah, I can give you an example. Last year we have a requirement to show a duration tab. It's a it's a it's a business related to itinerary, travel itinerary. We need to show the travel itinerary duration to the web to the website website UI. But the duration you need to communicate to to compute it by front end or by backend. I from after my spec, I found that the backend API didn't respond the duration directly. So I asked the backend and product manager. Backend give me the response that backend give me the response.
你好，很高兴见到你，随时开始吧。
Let me try again. Let me try again. Last year we got a business. We got a question that we need to show a itinerary duration as a website, and we need to decide the duration is computed by front end or back end engineers. After my spec, I found that the backend didn't respond the duration directly, so we need to compute the duration by front end. But there are so many edge cases for front end to handle. For example, how to define one day? If one day one day is just 24 hours, or one day means from last day to this day, even it less than 24 hours. This is a small question, and there are some other questions. If the travel is a international travel, we need to handle the time zone. But if we handle time zone, maybe for some edge case, maybe the duration could be minus, not positive day. So there are so many problems to compute the durations. So I need to cooperate with our designers and backend engineers to solve the problem. Actually and luckily, we have a good cooperation, and we have a document to make the conclusion easier to display. So every time we show the problem, every time we show the problem, every time we got we have good step forward, and finally we have a trade-off, and we have a good performance for the duration computation. I think it is a good example for me to show how I communicate with designers and backend engineers. Actually, I want to add more information I missed up. that why backend engineers cannot respond the duration directly, because backend have their data clean requirement. So, and of course, the backend API do not only for our internal usage, and also the backend API will be used for other third client. So they want to make the API more clearly, so they cannot respond the duration directly. Next question is, tell me about a time you improved performance or optimized a front-end system. Of course, last year, I did a work by using PNPM in our project to optimize our project system. You know, we have some several internal libraries for our front end system, and previously the there are some er- every library has their own build comment build process, and for example, every library stood same dependencies. For example, Webpack, ESLint, Bubble, and so on. And in last year, I have a work to make a monorepo to make these libraries centralized manage, and we put some dependencies in parent folder and use the parent folder to manage the libraries. We use the PNPM to manage it. PNPM is a great tool to do it. They naturally have a feature to monorepo, to do a monorepo. So after that, we can build the libraries faster and manage it easier, and we can have less dependencies. That's a good changes for us. Next question is, what would your project structure and tech stack look like, and why would you choose them? Yeah, that's a good question. And if I create a new large enterprise system, I will choose this tech stack, like React and Wait and Form. That's two core library. React is one of the most popular UI library, and is a good Wait is a good build tool for us to do a large enterprise system. And recently I see Wait speech at YouTube. Actually, Wait is showing a very good Wait is showing a very good process to integrate many things into their tools. They can integrate ESLint and test, and automation, and so on into their inner ecosystems. So I think wait is a great tool for us to make the large enterprise system more easier to develop. And for us, as for other libraries or as for other libraries, I think we need depend on our business. For example, if we have some graphs, or we have some we need to show some graphs. Maybe we need integrate with some graph libraries, and if we need to show some forms, we need to use some like for milk or something else libraries. But it's small. Anyway, it's small libraries. We need integrate them accordingly. Anyway, I think React and Wait is our core libraries we need to use. Yeah. Yes, of course. Var is a keyword. Of course, var is a keyword in before ES6. It's for us to define a variable, and it will pollute the global context, and it will host the variable. And for light is a keyword imported by in ES6, and is a is a is defined variable, not global, so it can decrease some confusion. Yeah. And how about const? Const is a keyword as well, and if you define it for a primitive type value, it cannot change. For object, it cannot change the reference.